Welcome students. Let's continue our topic on angle today. Alright. So in the last topic we learned about an angle and how do we measure it. So you have a line, these are called the arms of an angle, and this is the vertex, and there's a space between these two arms is the angle, and the unit to measure an angle is degree. So we learned about this, right? Now, what is an angle? What are the different types of angles? So when this angle is called an acute angle, when the angle is lesser than 90 degrees, it's called an acute angle. When you have a figure like this, right, and it is forming like 90 degree, so this is called a right angle, right? And let's say if there is an angle which is greater than 90 degrees, so let's say you have one arm here and like this is called obtuse angle, right? So an angle that is greater than 90 degrees. So you have an angle called acute angle, which is the angle that is lesser than 90 degrees. You have something called right angle, where the angle is equal to 90 degrees. You have obtuse angle, when the angle is greater than 90 degrees, right? So these are the type of angles. Now there is another type of angle that is called straight angle, when the value is equal to 180 degrees. So how does the straight angle looks like? You have a straight line and you have an arm like this. So this complete angle is called straight angle, right? So in a straight angle, yeah, there will be the sum of that angle, the value of that angle, measure of that angle is 180 degrees. So these are the type of angles. Now let's try to understand this angle in terms of figures like triangle, square, rectangle, and others, right? So let's say you have a triangle, right? So one thing to note about a triangle is sum of all its angles. Let's say this angle is A, B, C, right? So sum of the angles of a triangle, angle. So you have, this is how you denote an angle. So angle A plus angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degrees, right? So always in a triangle, sum of all the angles in a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. Now, if this angle is an equilateral triangle, so we've studied about equilateral triangle in one of our previous class. So an equilateral triangle is a triangle that has all its sides equal and all its angles equal. So this is an equilateral triangle, right? So this will have all its sides equal and all its angles equal. In an equilateral triangle, each angle is equal to 60 degrees, right? So now if you do this formula, the sum of all the angles in an equilateral triangle is 60 degrees plus 60 degrees plus 60 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. All right. Similarly, in a right angle triangle, let's say you have a right angle triangle, right? So you have an angle A, B, and C. This angle is right angle. The sum of all the angles, so one of the angle will be 90 degree, other angle may be uh, let's say 45 degrees or 45 degrees. So sum of all the angles in a right, this is not necessary that other two angles are equal, but in a right angle triangle also the sum of all the angles is 180 degrees. All right. Now let's take an example of a square, right? So or any figure that has four sides, right? So any figure that has four sides, sum of all its angle is 360 degrees. So be it a square or a rectangle or a rhombus or trapezoid, right? Sum of all the angles in these figures is equal to 360 degrees. So let's say, let's take an example of a square, which is a simpler one, right? So you have a square. So if you see this in a square, each angle is equal to 90 degrees. Okay, so how many angles are there? Four. So angle, let's say it is named A, B, C, and D, right? Angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D is equal to 360 degrees. That is 90 degrees plus 90 degrees plus 90 degrees plus 90 degrees is equal to 360 degrees. So if you sum it up, it's 360 degrees. So it is same for any other quadrilateral. Sum of all the angles is equal to 360 degrees, right? Now let's understand two more concepts, which is about the lines. So it is not this is related to angle, but there are two there these are related to lines. Let's say you have a line like this, another line like this. So these lines are called non-parallel lines, meaning these lines eventually at some point may intersect each other, may intersect each, each other, right? Now let's say there are two lines which are running with equal distance to each other. So these kind of lines are called parallel lines. So these are called parallel lines, meaning these lines will not intersect each other, right? So if the lines intersect at, let's say, um, at any angle, so these, let's say you have a line like this, another line like this, these are called intersecting lines, right? Now if these lines are intersecting at a different angle, like there will be an angle, four angles formed between these lines, right? Now if these lines are intersecting straight to each other, one horizontal, one is one vertical, like this, and forming a 90-degree, right? These lines are called perpendicular lines. Meaning these lines are intersecting each other at 90 degrees, right? So these are some of the concepts related to angles and lines. We will continue more on this the next topic.